Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while since we've done a Q&A, so if you guys have been following my Instagram, you know that I decided to do one after a very long time. If you're not following my Instagram, make sure to follow me. Link is in the description. That's where I announce when I'm doing my Q&As and where I do all my polls and stuff like that. So make sure to follow me on there. But without further ado, let's get into it. Got some really good questions. Gonna try to go as in-depth as I can. If it's a good question, and yeah, let's just do it. Alright, so the first question is, what are my next goals on 10 foot? My next goal is really just to start dunking more consistently now. I've been saying that for a while, you know, that's kind of my next goal after I get my first dunk, but I just want to make sure that I can start getting that dunk, you know, even if it's on just any given day, I can, you know, get the height to dunk and then eventually start getting it with two hands and then just being able to do it consistently. What's the best exercise for 1 foot jumping? As far as exercises go, I wouldn't say there's one best exercise to improve your 1 foot jump just because there's so many, but I'd say the best thing you can do for improving your 1 foot jump is to just practice 1 foot jumping, you know, practice on a low rim, and I think that's the best thing you can do because it's the most specific to improving your 1 foot jump. It's just practicing that, and I think not only is that a form of plyometrics, but you can also improve your technique by doing that. So the more you do that, I think the more you're going to improve at 1 foot jumping. What's the biggest tip you have to finish your first dunk mid-air? So for me, one thing I really improved on which helped me is my lobs, so getting them closer to the rim. The closer it is, the less you have to do with directing the ball in the hoop. You know, if it's right there rim, you can just grab it, direct it in, and you don't have to do as much. Another thing is I like to practice on a low rim, just kind of scooping the ball up and just practicing finishing, because I feel like a lot of times if you're, you know, dunking on a stiff rim or something like that, it's a bit hard to finish. So just getting that feel of finishing dunks helps me to be a little bit more efficient at that. So that's probably my best advice on how to finish dunks mid-air. How old were you when you first started training to dunk? I was 14, so I was in the 10th grade, and I basically just started off, you know, doing low rim dunks in my driveway, and that's kind of how I fell in love with dunking and then kind of just progressed from there. Back in 2014, when did you think you'd get the first dunk down? That's a good question. I actually thought I was maybe about a year off. I remember starting in 2014 and then I thought I'd be able to get it by mid-2015, and I was working with a couple trainers at the time and I told them, you know, that was my goal. And then I just kept missing it and just wasn't really improving as fast as I thought I would, but I just kept at it. But I'm kind of glad looking back that, you know, that I kind of thought that and didn't think, you know, it'd take me 6 years, because if I did, I probably wouldn't have as much motivation going into it. And I just kind of kept my mind focused on the small mini goals leading up to dunking 10 foot, where it was touching rim, grabbing rim, you know, certain goals like that is what I just kind of kept my focus on at the time. What's your next dunking related goal, or any other goals for that matter? Next dunking related goal is to just get a lot better at 10 foot, like I said, as well as I'd like to start doing some more low rim dunks and getting really good at that, because I think that's going to help with my technique when I start doing those types of dunks on 10 foot. So I just want to get better at low rim dunking as well, and that's a really fun aspect of dunking that I enjoy. And some other goals that I want to focus on is just to keep uploading content, keep motivating people to work as hard as possible at their given craft, whether that's dunking or something else. What's the hardest part about your training? The hardest part, I would say, is just being consistent. I think anyone can just train when they feel like it, but I think what really separates, you know, the good from the great is consistency and having that discipline. You know, you're not always going to have motivation to train. Motivation kind of comes and goes, but to have that discipline for me was definitely the hardest part, especially in times of, you know, really taking it serious, like throughout this prep, for example. It was just to have the discipline, you know, to get up early and train, you know, multiple times a week, and to go harder in the gym each week. I think that's the hardest part. So just having that consistency and looking for that constant progress. Will you release a training program or do custom programs for jumping? That's something I plan to do in the future. As far as now goes, probably not. I just want to work on getting better myself and continuing to improve. And once I feel like I'm at that level, then I'm going to probably start coaching and start my own training and helping other people get better through, you know, custom programs and stuff like that. but at the moment it's not really on my mind. What's your main goal in dunking? That's a tough one. For me, I don't really have an end goal because I don't believe in, you know, hitting a certain thing and then being satisfied with that. I'm always going to aim to try reach higher and higher. But I guess my main goal in dunking would be to just inspire and impact others within dunking. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I do it, because I just want to, you know, influence other people. So I would say if I, at the end of the day, you know, at the end of my dunking journey, if I've inspired other people to, you know, start theirs and be the best they can be, then I would say I've succeeded. Any tips to jump higher quickly? The only tips I would say to jump higher quickly is to improve your technique. That's where you can have those quick fixes. Other than that, you can't really improve it quickly. It's a long-term game. You just got to keep consistent in your workouts and your training, and, you know, find the parts that you enjoy in that training, and that will help you stay motivated and disciplined. What vertical program do you do? I actually do all my own programming, so that was kind of another great thing about achieving my first dunk, is I basically did it all off my own programming and all the knowledge that I kind of gained over the past few years of training. When I did start out, I did try out a few programs like Jump Menu and VertShock. But yeah, since then, that was a while ago. Since then, I've just been doing all my own stuff. What are your goals for this year? It's just to keep pushing higher and higher. I think that's the only way to progress, is just keep, you know, increasing the standard that I put on myself. And I think in return, if I keep doing that, then I'm just going to be achieving bigger goals as a result of that. So that's probably my biggest goals for this year, is to just keep aiming higher with everything it is that I do. Alright guys, that's the Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoy doing these, so if you guys want to see more of these, let me know. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. A lot of exciting videos on the way, so stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Cause it's a greatness is within. The hunger, drive, passion, and desire for the win. Cause it's a greatness is within. This is how I'm living from beginning to the end.